cricket time.
Yes, cricket. We've
Yes.
got we haven't actually had any games really, but
just
we've got
Australian cricket news, unfortunately.
We've got some news to talk about. The thing that I hate talking about, I guess it's in the news again. We'll give it a minute.
Well, give it the time frame. So I think it was either Tuesday or Wednesday. Tim Paine came out and threw his support behind Stephen Smith as possibly the next Test captain. That we could transition to him. He's been excellent for me, supporting me. He was an excellent captain beforehand with the strategic and logistic side of it. Next day, Cam Bancroft comes out. What would you call it? Conspiracies?
Snitching is what I'd call it.
Little bitch pussy.
Holy dooly. Well, Cam was suggesting that the bowlers and coaches knew about it. The bowlers all maintained their innocence. Boof got sacked over this.
Yes.
Everyone fucking knew.
Well, a lot of the coaching staff got sacked over this. So guys got suspended, but yeah.
Am I telling Porky Pies there? Like, everyone knew.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, like, and we talked about it off air. The bowler has it in his hand at the start of it. Like, you feel if a ball's been sandpapered, you know it's scratchy.
Well, allegedly in that statement from the bowlers, they said that even the umps didn't even think there was anything happening to the ball.
Yeah, but whatever. I find it very hard to believe.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
because I read it over when it fucking happened. Where Smudge and Warren are just in the room of the hotel and just going,
yeah, just them two.
We got to do it.
No one else.
And they message Bancroft and they go, all right, Cam, you're the new boy.
Go
I don't want to hear anything
down to the
from
hardware
you.
store and get some.
And they just had this great idea between the two of them. No, I don't. No, it's Darren Lehman as well. Fuck me. It would have come from like. Okay, we've done this already. We can get into it. I hope Cameron Bancroft enjoyed his couple games for Australia.
We'll talk about blacklisting last week with Steve Smith. Do you think those comments, they kind of helped his case?
Well, it's very.
He's never getting back into the squad.
It's very coincidence that these comments come out. Coincidental that these comments come out like a day later. That after Tim Paine has backed Steve Smith to be the future Australian Test captain.
Interesting as well.
So
I wondered if it was like, because if Smith's captain, does the 0 to Bancroft? Okay, man, I fucking fell on the sword. I mean, you ate shit as well, but
big time.
I hate talking about it. I really hate
it all back up to
exactly. It's done. It's buried.
Yeah. Well, so either someone's got an agenda and they knew they could get Bancroft to give the soundbite where they, could throw it back up and then throw it back in Steve Smith's face.
Didn't he back down on it as well? Didn't he sort of retract his statement?
No.
Why fucking say it then? Like, but he probably said it. What was the grab? Was it just a random interview? Like, where?
Yeah,
does anyone know where it was?
I think
from?
he said did a sit down interview of something.
So like
somewhere,
of his,
but who knows?
Of his doing? Like, does he say I've got something to say, or did someone?
No.
Like he's always going to be linked to it. He's always going to be asked about it. So like, was it just an interview with his counting club or whatever he's doing?
Well, it just seems so smart to me that it's like, Steve Smith's in the media again about possibly being captain. Let's talk to the one bloke that could possibly ruin that and see what his thoughts on the whole situation and his involvement in it. But
I think fuck you, Cam Bancroft, and I actually quite liked him for everything that happened. I thought he was a bit of a scapegoat.
Yeah, that's the word there, mate.
You don't need to keep talking about it. Just move on.
And we shall move on.
Exactly.
Well, I guess to clarify real quick, I haven't got the quote right here, but I think he was asked the question about the bowlers and he didn't flat out say yes or no. He's like, it's pretty self-explanatory.
That's what,
what would have happened.
Yeah.
So again, it's like what we're saying. Like, of course they fucking knew, but I'm not saying
exactly.
Of course they fucking knew to an interviewer. That's what I mean. Like,
exactly.
Look, he hasn't said to 60 Minutes. All right.
He should have been like,
you come to me. Like, it's just been in a chat with
minced his words. Really.
Yeah, it should have been more like, when we're here to talk about my Shield record and how I'm going to get back in the Australian team. Like, that was in the past. Let's ignore it and do something else.
Yeah. Okay. So here it is. So he's quoted as saying, look, I wanted to do what was to be responsible and accountable for my own actions and part. Yeah, obviously I did benefit the bowlers and the awareness around that probably is self-explanatory. I guess one thing I learned through the journey and being responsible is that where the buck stops with Bancroft himself, I had better awareness, I would have made a better decision.
young player taking advantage of maybe.
I
but
do still feel for him a little bit. But
anyway, what everyone forgets is though, wasn't it a couple of weeks beforehand the South African captain was licking lollies on the ball?
Faf, the cough lollies.
Fucking loser.
So they probably thought,
Not a loser, big time winner, but fuck you anyway.
Yeah. But, these boys probably sitting in the hotel room was like, hey, you got away with it. We can get away with it as well. South African cricket versus Australian cricket is a different beast.
Real quick on South African cricket. AB de Villiers came out this week saying he's done.
It's done, yeah.
Yep.
Retired? Is that what we're talking?
Yeah.
Hasn't he? This is the second time, isn't it?
Hence the done.
I think that was that his.
Is he Johnny Farnham?
This is cricket. This is cricket.
Cricket.
Not international.
One last time?
Like he's not doing IPL.
The
he's
final
not doing
tour?
anything now.
Final. Yeah. He's done. So it was he's doing like T20s and all that, but
yeah, he's getting paid, and he's just like, I'm not playing Test cricket anymore.
Not playing Test cricket.
And then we're all someone started. We're all someone started.
Peps was too happy to see him.
Anyway, let's talk about some other Australian cricket news, mostly around T20. So all the IPL Australian cricketers are now home. They did their 14 days quarantine in the Maldives and then flew into Sydney. They've announced an Australian tour of the West Indies for a T20 competition. There'll be 5 T20s starting in July, which doesn't bode overly well for the IPL restarting because it means Australia have probably got a full calendar. I wouldn't think these guys are going back.
No, you'd think the IPL's done.
Yeah, and so Caps win by default?
It'll be a no contest, I imagine.
Yeah, because it's either they have to do it before the World Cup or after the World Cup when everyone's there. Well, I'd worry about the World Cup at this point. We've got to do that first. But let's go back to the Australians doing the West Indies tour. What was interesting, they've named a 23-man squad to go over. Key kind of left outs, I think, was the Labuschagne, the loose bus change, and Cam Green. Bus change, of course, is playing a lot of county cricket, so I think the logistics of flying him from England and quarantining, etc., was going to be too much.
I don't think he was too happy about that.
No. Well, considering it's like England's closer to the Caribbean than Australia is, I'm pretty sure I can fly there in quarantine. But, yeah.
And then Cam Green opted not to go as well.
Two very different.
He's focusing on Ashes, but it wouldn't surprise me if they've kind of looked at it and gone, Labuschagne, maybe you're not my top 4 or 5 batters for T20.
I wouldn't hate him staying in England and just playing county cricket and then
get ready
giving
for the Ashes,
bat
same
max
thing.
it for
For T20s, no, he's not in the team. And
exactly. So,
and then
I'd be flat. A tour to the Caribbean has to be the best international tour you could fucking do. I'd be fucking filthy. Tanvir Sangha, congratulations, 19-year-old leggy touring with the Aussie cricket team in the West Indies. Oh, good. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be physically able to. Imagine all the fucking
just run waters
fun
and
that you
enjoy
get
yourself.
up to, responsible fun that you would have.
One Bahama Mama and then a little swim at the pool and then straight to bed.
Several hours
Steel
later.
drum shows. Yes, something like that.
That's not till July, so we'll talk about that probably every week. Let's be honest. We fucking love it here.
Well, there's not much cricket otherwise. The final note, I think, was the announcement of the Ashes schedule, which was released for where they're going to actually play the games. What was interesting was Perth ended up being the end leg, the last game for that series.
Yeah, so it's kind of similar to the old way they used to have it. I think it was, 98, 99 Ashes that they went to the current format. So pretty much most of what we've grown up with is,
I've never known it not to finish in Sydney.
I've got faint memories of it finishing up Adelaide, Perth. Adelaide obviously used to be the Australia Day test.
Yep.
And then they'd finish with Perth in like early February.
I think I saw something. It was 95 was the last time they played the end leg in Perth.
Surely the building of Optus Stadium has something to do with this.
A packed Optus Stadium for maybe a decider in an Ashes.
I love it.
That's what they're aiming for.
I'll be shitting my pants if it's going to be the decider. I'm really hoping.
You're hoping for a whitewash.
Yeah, got it wrapped up by then.
You know what I also think plays a part in it is the Sydney weather. They've lost something like 32 days of cricket in the last 10 years or something.
Because of rain. Yeah.
Because of rain. Because it's just Sydney. And you can't plan for this shit. But it's so... I hate when the Sydney test is a dead rubber and it's flat and there's a day rained out. This is going to make the Sydney test... Well, if it's still a dead rubber, I'll be stoked. But give it some meaning. Give Sydney a bit of meaning. Sydney to me has been a bit boring for the last forever.
Yeah. Yep. That's a fair point.
Yeah, it's a fair statement. So, just give me what time of the years of that is Sydney still going to be Boxing Day, and then Perth is
Sydney definitely wouldn't be Boxing Day.
New Year's.
So Sydney would be the New Year's one, and then
Fourth, fifth.
and then Perth would be the following week.
Yeah, it'd be. I think
Or
it'll
week
be,
after.
or it'll be mid-January. I'd
Mid-January.
imagine. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you got the dates there?
Be
Mate?
fucking hot in Perth.
Oh, it always is.
Which is probably what these English boys come over and it'll be 40 degrees in Perth.
Let's cook them.